Hello everyone, it's TheCanadianWifier here. It's been a decent amount of time since my last upload and I apologize for that. I'd like to start off by saying thank you to Done Deal for allowing me to do a couple videos over on his channel. Welcome to the about 150 new people that will be partaking in this excellent battle you see here today. Welcome you to my channel. Hope you enjoy. I try my best, I swear. Speaking of trying my best, I noticed that my banner sucked so bad, and I've always wanted to kind of get some new art going, and I never really found the motivation. And then earlier this week I just figured, you know what, let's just do it. And I sat down, it took me about 8-9 hours, but I got a nice new banner, set up a Twitter account, you can follow that, link will be in the description. I set up a Patreon page, set up a bunch of new thumbnails and this and that, and set up an end panel, and I just went ham bone on the channel branding. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It took a decent amount of work, but hopefully the payoff will be worth the effort. Generally that's how YouTube works. The more you put in, the more you get out, and it just feels good to not have a shitty looking channel banner, I'll be completely honest. On to today's game. This is against TJohnny44. He's an old friend of mine. We met on the Smoke on Trade forums back when people actually still bred Pokemon in Pokemon X and Y. Me and him I think I have literally a dozen, if not like 20 Pokemon in my box that have TJohnny44 as the original trainer. Likewise, he probably has a bunch that has Jasmine as the original trainer. We traded a lot, we had a lot of things that each other wanted, and we became close friends on there. And one day he challenged me to a battle randomly while I was on, and I accepted. And of course the rain team is the thing that I had in my battle box, this rain team, which you already know if you don't, or if you're new to my channel, cough cough. It is physically defensive Lantern, because Rotom Wash is overrated. You have Expert Belt Keldeo, which is my favorite type of Keldeo. You have Nasty Pass, Stealth Rocking, Special Defensive Offensive Celebi, which is just like a hybrid of all of the sets I've ever run on Celebi in one. You have Physically Defensive, Mono Attacking, Damp Rock, Manaphy, just standard Generation 5 problem Big Bird. It is such a threat. It is still a threat. People start preparing for it. It's so good. And then you just have Specs Politoed, kind of a fodder on this team, kind of just there because it is an obligatory rain team. Looking at his team, he has a bunch of interesting Pokemon. Of course, he has Talonflame. He has Mega Manectric, which is very difficult to play around because it keeps up such momentum. It's very fast, hits very powerfully with the Volt Switch, and has Intimidate. He also has Gelatran, which is a very old core, but still a prominent core. And he also has Rapid Spinner for the two things on his team that are weak to Stealth Rock. Skidrill is also just a fantastic Pokemon in general, and that's about it. Just a nice standard battle. Haven't posted in a while, so I wanted to start back with something not gimmicky, just nice and fresh. So first turn, I kind of wanted to go for Scald, because obviously if he didn't Mega, predicting that he could get Lightning Rod boost and kill me with an HP Grass, but I just went for it, thinking that he'd be scared out in a Jellicent because he does have a Water Absorb Pokemon. I know he's a decent player, I know he might predict that. First turn, that's exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to be able to Volt Switch off on the incoming Jellicent, and then not wanting him to recover off that HP, I'm going to go for Taunt with Tornadus. Tornadus with Taunt is just so good. One of the reasons why it got banned, actually, just because of its stall breaking abilities last gen. I have a physically defensive Lantern specifically for this Pokemon, so there's no reason for me not to switch it in. I'm going to switch it right in. And now, because he has a Talonflame in and he still hasn't Mega'd his Manectric, I know he's going to try to bring that in and get the boost off of the Volt Switch. So I'm going to go for the Scald. I actually do end up getting the burn, so there's a little bit of hacks getting thrown around at the start of this battle, but it does even out later on, as you will see. Now, I don't want to take an HP Grass or anything of the sort, so as he doubles out the Jellicent, I am also going to double out into my Celebi, predicting, like I said, an HP Grass, possibly from the, I know he put it this way, I knew he wasn't going to go for the Fire move, so Celebi was safe. And now that Jellicent is in, I know I can set up my Stealth Rock rather safely, because he's going to be scared out of the Giga Drain. He wants to keep that thing alive for my Keldeo, and I'm just going to be able to Baton Pass out, which is going to give me some nice switch advantage, because I see that he doesn't switch out, so I know that either a Stealth Rock or a Lava Plume is coming. It's actually the Toxic, but like I said before, Politoed's basically just fodder on this team. It's basically just get up rain and hit things really hard with Water Move in the rain. while you're not just setting up rain. It's pretty useless this generation, I'm not gonna lie. It would not surprise me in the slightest if it went down to NU. just because Drizzle's banned in UU and there's no reason to use it in OU. I'm going to taunt because I don't want the Heatran doing something funny like Toxicking or setting up Stealth Rock. And then Tornadus T carries Superpower to beat Chansey, to beat Blissey, to beat Steel types in general because it's better than Focus Blast. Just a whole plethora of reasons. And he's actually going to go for Rapid Spin, which is really lucky for me. I mean, obviously he needed those rocks gone for his Talonflame, otherwise it was basically useless. But yeah, it's going to cost him because my TT is still alive. Obviously, you switch up moves when something's about to die. He goes out to Gyarados, predicting another Superpower, and I'm just going to pop it with a Hurricane. Now, I could have risked going for another Hurricane. It's just like hitting a Focus Blast. You can do it without Rain, but Tornadus is going to be so useful for me. I did not want to risk the possible miss and the death by death by Gyarados. So I'm going to switch out of my Politoed, like I said multiple times now. Politoed's basically fodder, so not only would I have gotten up the Rain, but I also would have fought it off my Politoed, allowed Tornadus to come back in. I'm going to predict the Jellicent to come in here because it's rather obvious. I mean, he has a Heatran out, and I'm going to go for the Specs Toxic. Unfortunately, he leaves Heatran in, which sucks. He's also going to get up Rocks to boot, which also sucks. I'm going to be able to switch in Celebi because I figure it's in the rain. I'm specially defensive. I'm Calm Nature. I'll be able to take a Lava Plume. It's not a Fire Blast. It's special defensive Heatran. There's just, again, a plethora of reasons why I can switch in on this Heatran. And thinking he's just going to switch out. I am going to Baton Pass to keep up my momentum, get the switch advantage. As he brings in Excadrill, I'm going to be able to switch in Tornadus. And because the rain is still up at the end of this turn, I can just go for a Hurricane, as he's going to switch in Jellicent, trying to take it, but he's not going to be able to take it. I assume he was predicting maybe a Superpower there, but obviously because the Excadrill is at negative 4 HP, he would not have been able to take any such move. As I figure the best move here is definitely the taunt. Whether Jellicent, because the rain wore off, again, I didn't want to risk another Hurricane miss, and I did not want him to be able to recover because keeping that Jellicent low is going to be absolutely crucial for me to survive. I'm gonna bait the Jellicent, the hardest I think I've ever baited a Jellicent before, by bringing a Keldeo in on a Heatran deliberately, and then just doubling right out in the Keldeo, or doubling right out in the Celebi, because Jellicent obviously hard counters everything Keldeo could possibly do to it. Even at that range, I'm pretty sure 2 HP bugs can't kill it. And I make a mistake here. I'm not gonna lie. There's been a lot of double switching, a lot of over predicting in this battle. Not over predicting, a lot of solid predictions. And I'm gonna have the first over prediction in this battle. I'm gonna assume he's gonna switch out, try to save his Jellicent because it's very useful. And if he would have switched out there, the Stealth Rock would have killed him on the way back in. Unfortunately, he's gonna use the turn to stay in and recover. That sucks for me, but it does allow me a free nasty plot as he's going to switch out, and I assume he's going to switch out because if he doesn't, then I could still kill him at +2 for sure. As I'm going to be able to Baton Pass this to anything on my team, because if you haven't noticed, it has 6 special attackers. I think the best thing at this point to go to is definitely the Lantern, because not only can it wall this Heatran, but it also hits everything on his team very, very, very hard. I'm going to go for the Scald because he has an Excadrill still alive, and the Jellicent, even if it does come in, I can still get off a +2 Volt Switch on it to follow up the absorption of my Scald. But he is just going to bring an Excadrill, try to absorb up the Volt Switch, and unfortunately, he's going to die. So, our Lantern's sitting pretty at +2. He's going to bring in Gyarados, and obviously he's tempting me really hard to go for Volt Switch, but I know better than that. The only reason you would bring in a Gyarados is if you had the Earthquake, and I need that Lantern, otherwise I just lose the Talonflame. So I'm going to switch out into my Tornadus and go for Superpower. Rain is not up. It was a very safe play. It would have killed from that range, especially with Life Orb, and obviously Hurricane is taking a shit in a windstorm. You're just going to hit yourself because Focus Blast is going to miss. That is definitely not a saying, taking a shit in a windstorm. He's going to bring in Manectric. Whether he's going to go for... He's not going to go for the HP Grass, is what I'm assuming on this turn, because I had a Tornadus in. He's obviously faster than me. And, yeah, problem. I'm just going to switch in Physically Defensive Lantern. Whatever defensive it is, it can still eat up anything Manectric wants to go for. And he is slowly dying to that burn damage I got on him earlier, coupled with the Stealth Rock damage, of course. I'm going to use this turn to rest up because I am very, very low on HP. And Talonflame can do about 25 to 33% to me with a Brave Bird, and I need to be at full HP if I want to switch this thing in on a Brave Bird and then fumble around with Sleep Talk. So he's going to bring out in... long narration, I haven't done this in a while, I apologize for all the stuttering. I'm going to predict, I believe... I actually have no idea what that was about. I think I might have just, when in doubt, sack Politoed on this team. I could get the rain back up. He had a Heatran in, plethora of reasons to bring in the Politoed, like I said before. He actually ended up going out to Manectric, which would have been bad for me, as I would have had to sack Politoed. But he ends up trying to burn damage, which is fine, because now basically what it allows me to do is sack it to this Talonflame and get more Brave Bird damage off on it, or Brave Bird recoil. As you can see, the Talonflame is very low. I could obviously sack like Celebi or something to this Talonflame and force it to kill itself, but I do have a hard counter, so why the heck not bring it in? Now, all I need to do is pull one of my 2 attacking moves and not rest, and this thing's going to die without me taking any more damage, and of course I pull the rest, which basically means I'm going to die, he's going to die at the end of the next turn to his own Brave Bird recoil, and I'm going to burn my last turn of sleep, but it doesn't matter what I pull, and lo and behold, of course, I pull the attacking move. Spoiler, because it still hasn't happened yet, but there it is, the Scald, Rain Boosted Scald, probably kill about 2 Talonflames. Unfortunately, there are no Talonflame on the field. He's going to bring out Jellicent. Now that both his Excadrill and Manectric are dead, I can safely go for the Volt Switch on this thing, and it's going to do a very respectable amount. Now I go with the Celebi here because the rain is going to end on this turn, and I don't want to fumble around with Tornadus T. I just want this damn thing to die. He does have Jellicent left, which is a difficult core to break through, but I figured I'm just going to go for the Giga Drain. I've made this mistake before on the Jellicent, and if he does go with the Heatran, I can Baton Pass out into Keldeo, and just... he could have been a complete jerk about it at the end and completely messed around. I did still have Manaphy though to set up Rain, and Tornadus T could always just come in, and if you have a Tornadus T at the end of the game, most of the time you have the game, because Tornadus is just such a freaking offensive powerhouse threat. It's just so good. It hasn't gotten any worse from last generation. The support may not be there because you have to provide it the rain multiple times per game as opposed to just once, but the Pokemon itself has not gotten any worse. Hurricane has dropped by 10 PP, or sorry, by 10 power. It is still just as good as it's always been. I definitely recommend using it, as I always do at the end of one of these games. It is actually the last game I have saved with this rain team. I have posted a lot with it, so I can understand if you guys don't want to see any more with it. But let me know in the comments if you wouldn't mind a few more games with this rain team, because it is a ton of fun to use. Other than that, thank you all for listening, thank you all for watching. I apologize for all the voice cracks. I am quite tired right now narrating this. This is actually the last standard game I have backed up as well. This might be the last Wi-Fi game I have backed up as well. Showdown in the future for you guys. Hope you don't mind that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this game. If you did, a rating would be much appreciated. I will see you next time. Take it easy. Have a good day. See you later. Peace out, guys. If you enjoyed the video, a rating would be much appreciated. Consider supporting the channel on Patreon to get some cool rewards, or follow me on social media. I'm the Canadian Wifier pretty much everywhere. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.